What if I told you there's a new African leader who's defying the West, kicking out foreign powers, and literally buying his country back, one gold mine at a time? It might sound like a thriller, but it's real, and it's happening right now. The man at the center of this storm is not a Hollywood character. He's a 37-year-old army captain from Burkina Faso, and his name is Ibrahim Traoré. What began as quiet defiance is quickly evolving into a continent-wide movement. Ibrahim Traoré is the second youngest head of state in the world, and in just a short time, he's become the symbol of a modern African uprising. When he took power in 2022 through a military coup, many expected more of the same: political chaos, instability, maybe a return to the status quo. But what he's done since then has been anything but typical. His message? African independence. And not just in words, but in action. What started in Burkina Faso is now becoming a regional shift against the lingering influence of Western powers. Here's the thing. Africa is arguably the richest continent on Earth in terms of natural resources. Gold, diamonds, oil, cobalt, lithium, materials that power everything from smartphones and electric cars to military hardware and satellites. But despite all that, many African nations remain among the poorest in the world. How is that even possible? The answer lies in over a century of quiet, calculated extraction, where wealth has flowed out, but very little prosperity has remained behind. For decades, foreign corporations and governments have made billions extracting Africa's wealth. Mining contracts often divert 90% of profits to foreign shareholders. Infrastructure deals, roads, bridges, airports, are awarded to foreign firms that import their own labor and export the earnings. Incredibly, France still controls the currencies of 14 African nations through the CFA franc system. And now, in the age of green energy, Western companies are sweeping up Africa's lithium and cobalt to build a cleaner future, without investing in the nations that provide the raw materials. That's where Traoré steps in. From day one, he made it clear Burkina Faso would no longer play by the old rules. He expelled French troops, canceling military agreements. He banned the use of colonial-era judicial wigs, largely symbolic, yes, but a gesture of deeper change. Then came the economic shifts, canceling infrastructure contracts with foreign companies and replacing them with locally trained workers. He even purchased over 1,000 machines to rebuild the country's roads with domestic labor. He's focused on food independence, expanding local control over agriculture and processing. He's also pushing for state control over electricity to reduce dependence on foreign grids. But perhaps the boldest move of all, he bought back 2 of Burkina Faso's largest gold mines, previously owned by foreign entities, for $80 million. He didn't seize them, he paid for them. He called it a reclamation of national wealth from exploitative ownership. But Traoré isn't acting alone anymore. His efforts have inspired a new coalition, the Alliance of Sahel States, comprised of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. Together, they're rejecting Western influence. Niger has already expelled U.S. military forces. Ivory Coast and Senegal are now questioning the presence of foreign military bases. The idea that once seemed radical, complete independence from the West, is gaining momentum across the continent. Of course, history whispers caution. In the 1980s, Burkina Faso had another revolutionary, Thomas Sankara. He had a similar vision: reject foreign aid, invest in local infrastructure, reclaim Africa's dignity. 4 years into his leadership, Sankara was assassinated. Foreign companies reclaimed their contracts. His dream collapsed almost overnight. Is Traoré heading down the same path? According to some reports, Traoré has already survived 19 assassination attempts. though not all of them are verified. One of the most repeated stories says his own security chief was offered $5 million to kill him and refused. True or not, it reflects just how high the stakes are. In such high-tension situations, it becomes increasingly hard to separate fact from fiction, truth from propaganda. The U.S. military recently accused Traoré of diverting Burkina Faso's gold to fund his junta instead of helping his people. In response, crowds flooded the streets, chanting, "Long live Captain Traoré." Some of his supporters believe in him with cult-like devotion. AI-generated videos of celebrities like Rihanna and Eminem singing his praises have gone viral. They're fake, of course, but they highlight just how symbolic Traoré has become in the eyes of many Africans. A symbol of freedom, of hope, of resistance. But not everyone is on board. Critics call him a dictator. He came to power through a coup, not an election. He's postponed voting. He cracks down on dissent. He's banned almost all Western media. Is he silencing dangerous colonial influence or shutting down legitimate criticism? And then there are the conspiracy-laden fan stories that he's erased the country's debt, made education and healthcare free overnight, transformed the nation in ways no one can verify. It's hard to know what's real anymore. Is Traoré a liberator or just another power-hungry strongman wrapped in a revolutionary flag? What's clear is this: Africa is asking serious questions. If we are rich in everything the world needs, why are we poor? That question is echoing louder and louder, from Burkina Faso to Mali, Niger, and beyond. So what do you think? Are we watching the rise of a dictator or the birth of a movement that could finally reclaim Africa's destiny? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and if you want to hear more stories that don't make the headlines but shake the world, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.